The one and only Ali. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
And then I started doing more research and I found you, and I hate doing videos, but the coaching calls was one of the things. And then you had another video that caught my eye where it was specific, outside the PMP, but I knew this is real content. This is things that will be on exam, right?
I did hard work for sure, but I think the follow-up, sir, you did. I don't know how you managed to do the follow-up. With one particular student like me, you have hundreds of students. You are just keeping an eye on each of the students. So after my hard work, I can say that the credit goes to you, sir. That is for sure.
Hi Amir, good morning. Yes, I cleared the exam. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. And this has happened only because of that customized roadmap and mocks, and you always keep on asking us to do proper RCA, detailed RCA. It happened only because of the detailed RCA. Yes, this RCA helped me a lot.
Thank you for all this guidance and support you gave me, Mr. Amir. Thanks for our team.
So I was just looking at his post, who cleared the PMP, and he used to post the success stories on daily basis. So I reached out to Alina and I asked her how is his program or something. So she said you can trust him and you should join this program if you are looking for it.
It was a very customized base feedback that I was getting from sir, from you.
So yes, follow-up is very important, and thank you very much for that. It made me accountable. If you didn't ask me this often, I would have slacked off more.
I would say your course was super important. I think this was the main part, once you understand the course, and then I think the mocks were super important. Your emphasis on mocks, you kept nagging us that, get this mock done, do RCA. All of this was super helpful because questions were they were similar. So yeah, mocks were, there are so many mocks that you have, and if you do all of them, I'm pretty sure anybody who goes, who does them can easily clear a PMP.
Amir, first of all, thank you so much. I think without your guidance, it took me 1 year, one complete year I was preparing for PMP through books and everything. So I was giving some mocks also available online, and I was not able to, have that confidence that I'll be able to clear. But I'm telling you, after attending the classes, especially after doing the mocks, doing the RCAs, I was feeling confident enough that yes, I can attempt it. And the day you told me to book your exam, I still asked you that are you sure that I can give the exam? And you said yes, you are ready.
First of all, I thank you a lot for the privilege, because when I started encounter with your program through LinkedIn, so some of your talks, always motivating me, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. So I always follow you, almost everything, all your journeys. I watch all of them, even the one that they speak in your local language.
So that was not an easy journey, and it would not be possible without you. I really appreciate the support. He was always available for my questions and always put me in the right direction. And actually, if I want to say how was the journey, my journey started 2 years back. When I first called you for the SP, and then you directed me to PMP, and then we did SP after that, and then you tricked me to do the PGMP.
Thank you so much, and again, Amir, thank you so much, and your mocks are really good. I mean, everyone should do your mock for sure, and then they will be all prepared for the exam. And trust your program.
And then you came with your follow-ups, and that kind of really boosted me. Those daily follow-ups, making sure that I was getting the mocks that I needed to do completed, and following up on me, it really boosted my motivation again. And as I was started doing those mocks, I got an opportunity for a job which required me to have PMP, so I had to go for PMP before I get the interview.
Mostly coaching goal is for you understand how you will solve the question. Mostly it is like that. We can only do the 10 or 12 questions, maybe less than that. But main thing is it will come into your bones that you have to do elimination technique. So you cannot go just, okay, this is the answer, I will go directly put this answer. That is the main thing. It will come into you that you have to do elimination technique. That is the best thing for coaching on.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, with the right guidance from yourself, I managed to do good in the exam and to clear the PMP. I would say that your approach was really helpful because I'm not that type of a person who would sit there and read a lot of theoretical things to get things done. I'm more of a practical person who would prefer practicing over sticking to the theoreticals. And
I would definitely say that the root cause analysis for me was the key. And here's why. Is some people try so hard to memorize all the processes and how they're all linked together. And if you do this, then you got to do that. And some people, maybe they think that way. That was very hard for me. It was just a lot to memorize. I'm there, Ali. I can't do that. So for me, just the process of actually answering the questions with your technique of process of elimination. And then you're left with always like two answers. Which one do you do? And if you get it wrong, you have to go do the root cause analysis. So thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you very much for everything. Fantastic. I would not have done as well as I had done if I hadn't had the foundation that you gave me, for sure.
Who here wants to be successful? Raise your hands. My voice was not there. You did not tell me. Okay, so guys, are you able to hear me? Loud and clear. Can you hear me? Do let me know. Yeah, you can hear me now. Are you able to hear me now? Let me know. You can see me and you can. Put something in the chat box if you can hear and see me. Okay. Tamina, you have an exam in a day or two, no? Then you need to go for exam. Okay, if you are my student, like Fahad Butta, batch 12, and everyone else, if you are my students, put in the WhatsApp group, in whatever groups you have, just put in that the class has started, so people can also join, right? I want everyone to hear on this master class of quality. So let's go with that. How do you define quality? What will you say? What is quality? In your language, what is quality? How would you define that? What is quality? What is quality in your language? How would you define that? How would you define that? What is quality? What is quality? How would you define that? Standards for any product. Okay, not bad. What else? Quality is something expected by customer, conformance to requirement, match specification. What else? Customer satisfaction, Imtiaz Ahmed says. What else? What else is quality according to you? So we have different type of definitions here coming up. Someone is saying it to satisfy the customer. Someone is saying specification, expectations and benchmark standards. Quality is where product is up to the mark and fulfill the test cases. Extreme, normal, abnormal. Okay, Rizwan, not bad. Meet client requirements. That's good. What else is quality? My of conformance to client requirement. That's good. What else? Okay. What I like to say that quality is what customer pays for. That's it. I like to say that quality is what customer pays for, one thing, and second thing, what he pays for and agreed to. If the customer and you have a commitment, if you and customer has an agreement that okay, we are going to deliver this thing, this is something that is our goal to deliver. If you agreed with the customer and you provide that thing to the customer, you have fulfilled the quality requirements, right? You have fulfilled the quality requirement. I like somebody put fit for purpose. How good something, Abu Hasib Jamal, I would not go towards that definition, how good something, because something can be bad but they are quality product, right? Something can be good but they do not meet that. So good is not a criteria. Good according to who defines the good? Okay, so quality is what you have agreed with the customer. By the way, I'm gonna ask everybody, there are 33 people I can see right now live. Everybody, we are doing this masterclass series, so I want to reach as many people as we can. So I'm gonna ask everyone to please like this video and yeah, my voice is here. So I'm just saying it. Make sure that you have liked it and you have commented it on this. Agreed with the customer. I'm saying like and commented, make sure that it's there. When I open another browser there, my voice get lost. Okay. Please make sure you have liked and liked it and you have subscribed the channel, because I'm gonna put master class of Agile tomorrow. I don't want you to miss it. If you're not subscribed, you will not get the notification. I want to reach as many people as possible. Please do put that I have liked it. Now, the entire PMP comes down to these 5 focus areas: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. I like to start the masterclass from this. What happens in initiation, what happens in planning, what happens in execution, what happens in monitoring and control, and what happens in closing. Gee, what happens in initiation? Guys, are you able to hear me? I see some people are putting sound not working. Yeah, Tamina, thank you for that. What happens in initiation? What happens in planning? What happens in execution? What happens in monitoring and control and closing? This PMI called it focus group in 7th edition, and now we called it as focus areas, process group, focus areas, whatever you want to call it. It all means the same thing. I see 10 people have liked it. I would appreciate it if everyone do that. Okay, so we have project charter, assumption log, stakeholder register. Here we make project management plan, which consists of 18 plans. We also make 33 documents. I have a beautiful article on 18 plans and 33 document. Remind me at the end of the class. I'll send that article here in the link. I'll put in the description so that you knows all the plan. In execution, when plan was approved, we start working on execution. In monitoring and control, we check plan versus actual, and if there is a change, we raise a change request. Okay, in closing, we close the project. Now, here, when we talk about the quality topic, we are going to make quality management plan and quality metrics. We are going to make quality management plan and quality metrics. Quality metrics, also known as KPI metrics. Quality management plan and quality metrics. Okay, so let's say quality management plan. Quality management plan consists of two most important things: standards that we have agreed with the customer and cost of quality, COQ. Let's first discuss the standards. Does your organization follow any standards? ISO standards, SOC. What else standards we have here? What standards are you following? So whatever the standards are there, we agreed to the standards with the customer. Okay, we benchmark the standards. I compare what standards are there, which one we are gonna go, we benchmark them, and okay, now these are the standards that I'm going to follow. These are the standards we are going to follow, that we are gonna look into that way. These are the standards, I'm gonna benchmark it, I'm gonna work with it, and I'm gonna do those standards. These are the standards that we are gonna use. We benchmark them. Okay, is that clear to everybody? We talk to them, okay, these are the standards, we compare with them, and we say, okay, we are going to use those standards. That's benchmarking. The second is cost of quality. Cost of quality consists of cost of conformance, cost of non-conformance. Conformance is money spent to avoid failures. Money spent because of failures. Cost of conformance is the money spent to avoid failures, right? What are the training costs? What are the appraisal costs? Training cost, appraisal cost, like non-destructive testing, destructive testing. I'm trying to identify what the problem is. Like inspections, doing things like that, that is cost of conformance. I am spending money so that I can identify the failure never goes there. That is cost of conformance. Cost of non-conformance is cost because of failures. Like rework, you find something is defective. I do the rework, that something was defective. I want to identify before the customer gets it. Okay, the problem is there, it's a defective, but I want to find out before the customer gets it. It's rework. Second is, now the customer identified it. Warranty cost. Warranty cost. Claim cost. Because of the defect, now the customer identified it. Cost of non-conformance is because of failure. Your product failed. Fail can be internal, fail can be external. You identify both of the failure. One internal, rework is internal. This is external. Internal as well as external failures. Are they clear to you? Internal failure, and external failure. Are they both clear to you? Put yes or no in the chat box. And cost of quality is clear to you? So put in the chat box, what is cost of quality in your mind? What is cost of quality? Because you can get the cost into that. You can get. And this is your article here. The article I cite. So cost of conformance, Asim Irshad, is money spent to avoid failures. That is cost of conformance. Money spent to avoid failure, money spent because of failures. Now, our quality management plan is done. We go with the quality metrics. Quality metrics is also called as KPI metrics. You identify what are the key things in the project. What are the key things in the project that we look into that? What are the key things in the project that we look into that? What are 2 or 3 things, SPI, CPI, what we are going to measure into that? That is your quality metrics. Both are defined. Your quality metrics is approved, quality management plan is done, your planning is done. Going back to that, initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. Here you make quality management plan and quality metrics. Here in execution, now execution is the most important part of quality. Why? We called it quality assurance. We called it quality assurance. We are ensuring while the work is being done. While you are working into that, you ensure that you make the quality product while you are doing the work into that. That is quality assurance, that you want to make sure right product is being built. While you are working on that, while you are doing that thing, right product is being made. Not after, but while you are working on it. That is quality assurance. Right product is being made. That's it. You make a product that is right. I am following the right processes, the sequence of the steps, the ingredients, quality assurance. Okay. Now, let's say I'll give you an example. You are making rice, biryani. While you are making a biryani, making sure you are following the right recipe, making sure you are following the right sequence, making sure everything falls in its place, that is quality assurance. That everything follow the right sequence. Quality control. Now your deliverable, here deliverable is done, deliverable is made. Here it comes to the quality team. Internally they check. The deliverable came, they check, they verify. If they think the deliverable is good, it become verified deliverable. Internally approved. Client did not accepted it. It is internally approved by the team. It's an important distinction here. It is internally approved by the team, not by the client. Okay, we called it verified deliverable. Verified, which means client has not checked it, but quality team says that according to quality management plan, that's a good to go. Okay, according to quality management plan, this is checked. Now the quality topic ends here. In the next process, it goes to which is known as validate scope, which we will discuss. Probably the next master class will be procurement. Then after that, we will discuss. It goes to scope topic, and the process is known as validate scope, where client check according to scope baseline. Only internally verified deliverables will come, will check it, and it will become accepted deliverable. It will become accepted deliverable, or also known as validated deliverable. Accepted or validated deliverable will be there for you. Accepted or validated deliverable will be there for you. Okay, you have accepted the deliverable or you have validated the deliverable. Now these deliverables are with you. If they are accepted, they goes to the closing the project. Anywhere if they are rejected, it goes for a change request, which goes to project manager. He does the impact analysis, and then change control board handled it. So that's how the entire change process works for you. That's how the entire change process works for you. Okay, I hope that makes sense to everybody. Now in the quality, the most important things in the quality is tools of quality. There are a bunch of tools of quality that we need to take care, and that will be put in here. The first one is audit. They are used in both managed quality, okay, quality assurance, that is execution, and as well as it goes into monitoring and control. They are used in both way. Sir, who validates and what is validation done? So validation or acceptance is done by the client externally. And now the client accept it. Those verified deliverable, those deliverable which are internally you have checked, verified, they goes to the client, and now client accept it. It goes become validated or accepted deliverable. Okay. Audit. Audit is checking the effectiveness of process. Are we following the right sequence, right process? That is basically audit. Okay, audit can be internal, external, or third party. Third party, mostly third party and independent audit is considered as having the more value. Okay, user acceptance testing, asking what you are talking about, that's your language, not PMI language. You need to use PMI language, okay, for PMP exam. But yes, it's UAT. So internal, external, third party. So that is audit, checking the effectiveness of the process. Are we following the right processes or not? Are we following the right processes or not? That is your audit. Okay. Now audit is process. Audit is process. You check the process. It has nothing to do with the deliverable. Okay. Deliverable is a product. What is inspection? Inspection is you physically go and check that deliverable. That is inspection. You physically go and you check the deliverable. That is your inspection. Okay. So we check the deliverable. How do we check? We can have checklists. and we can have check sheets. We go there, checklist, sequence of steps. Is there? Is there not? Is there? Is there not? I'm trying to see the data variable is there or not. Check sheets, I count down the defect. I count down the defects, how many defects are there, etc., etc. Checklist, check sheets are there. We check the deliverables. Then, if there are a lot of deliverables, I cannot check all. I can do sampling of that. I will check some of the deliverables. I'll check some of the deliverables. Guys, audit, inspection, checklist, check sheets. Are they clear? Put yes or no in the chat box, please. I want to make sure we are speaking the same language. Sampling. Let's say there are 100,000 things. I cannot check all of them. I cannot check that. What I do, I select few of them to see how I can look into that. Few of them I check, I inspect, few of them how to look into that. So that is called sampling. Like maybe you can go and check randomly 10. That is called random sampling. Like I just go and grab some of that. Random sampling. Okay. Or statistical. I say, okay, let's say there are 1,000,000 boxes. I say after 100, I'll check one. After 100, after 1,000, I'm going to check. So that is called statistical sampling. So you check the sampling. Through sampling, I'm checking to collect the data. The purpose here is to collect the data. I can also use, if there's a large audience, virtual teams, or even in the restaurants, we use questionnaires and surveys. They are used to collect data. We can use questionnaire and surveys to collect data. Large amount of information is there. I want to collect that data. So questionnaires and surveys can be used. Do you use questionnaire and surveys? Do you use questionnaire and surveys in your organization, or you went somewhere, you get a survey? Like yesterday, I bought this ring, like this Aura ring, which check my body temperature, etc., etc. And I got a survey later on, like how you are feeling. Can you tell us how was the delivery, etc. That is a survey. They're collecting the data. Okay. The purpose to the inspection, we check the deliverables, we collect the data. We have collected data now. Okay. Now, what do? We have to plot data somewhere. So we can use trend chart. Trend chart is along the time you check into that. In the COVID, let's say there is 15th February, 16th, 17th, 18, 19, 20. How many people got COVID? 0, 10, 50. Along the time, we can plot that data using what we have collected. Okay, so that is one example of you collected the data and you put in that. Okay, akhlaq, if they do that, that's what the quality organization purpose is. That's why we're in the quality topic. That's why we are in the quality topic. Quality organization look into that. Okay, so how it works in trend chart, or we can use histogram. We take down the data, we make a simple bar chart. Histogram, simple. You also use that? Put in the chat box. Do you use histogram also in your organization? There's a special type of histogram that is called Pareto chart. It's a special type of histogram that is called Pareto chart. Trend chart, Wasim, the purpose of the trend chart is to plot it across the time frame. Across the time, to plot it on daily basis, how many defects are there, whatever you are measuring into it. Pareto chart. Pareto chart is based on Pareto principle, 20-80 principle. This principle states that 20% of the things, 20% of the things make 80% of the effect. Let's say there are 100 people in the world, okay? 20 people earns 80% income, and remaining 80% have only 20% income. 20% have 80% of the income. Or I also like to call it vital few, trivial many. There are few things that affect majority of the things, right? Vital few, what are the key things? What are the key things that impact everything else? Vital few, trivial many. Vital few, trivial many. What are the key things that are going to impact everything else? Okay, vital few, trivial many. Pareto chart. It's basically a prioritization principle. It takes out all the defects and see what are the most important things here. What are the most important things here? We need to focus into that. What are the most important things here? Now, let's say what we are doing here, just to visualize that. We went, I collected data, I have a data, scattered data, I plot it, I have identified what are the most important problems are. Okay, what are the most important problems are. Now, I'm going to look into the, do those problems impact each other? Is there any correlation with each other? Correlation diagram. Okay, also known as scatter diagram. If I change X, how the Y will be impacted? If I change X and Y increases, I called it positive correlation. If I increase X, Y decreases, I called it negative correlation. If I increase X and there is no impact on Y, I say there is no correlation. Okay. If I increase X and there is no impact on Y, I said there is no correlation. When to do audit and when to perform inspection. Audit, Nia, is about when you want to check are we following the process or not. That is about the process. You have actually in the quality plan you define after a certain period of time you do the audit. Inspection is you do to check the deliverables. They have different purpose there. Audit and inspection both have different purpose there. Okay. Scatter diagram are there. I have collected the data, I have plotted the data, I have looked into that what are the most important problem. I have identified do they have any relation. Now I'm gonna go deep dive and identify why this problem actually happened. Okay, why this problem actually happened. What was the reason of it? We use what we call as Ishikawa diagram, fishbone diagram, 5y, y. The purpose is to identify the root cause of it. Why it happened. I put problem here. What's the problem that is going to happen? And cause here. Cause, effect. Cause, effect. This is called YY, fishbone diagram, Ishikawa diagram. What we are trying to do? Like we are looking into that. Did people make this problem? Is there any problem in the process? Is there any problem in the equipment? Is there any problem in the environment? Like we are trying to identify why this happened, why this happened, why, the root cause analysis. Okay, it is Ishikawa diagram. Okay, Ishikawa diagram. Now I have identified why the problem happened. What is the reason? Now the next process is to stabilize the process so that that problem never happen. For that, I use control chart to control the process. I use control chart to control the processes. Okay? I will have upper control limit, lower control limit, and here mean or median. So let's say whatever the standards you are using, okay, but let's say whatever the standards we are using, okay. So normally in control chart we can use one of the highest quality standards, that is 6 sigma. 6 sigma is that out of 1 million, how many defects are there? Okay, out of 1 million, how many defects are there? Out of 1 million, how many defects are there? Okay, if out of 1 million there is 3.4 defects, we say that is a 6 sigma. Okay, so we can put 3 sigma upside, minus 3 sigma downside, or whatever the measurement you are taking, depending upon, let's say if you are cooking rice, what is the maximum temperature I can do, what is the lowest temperature I can do, what is the normal temperature, that's the reading. If you are solving, like for example I like to use in my classes, if you are solving the stakeholder questions, your maximum score can go up to 75, your minimum score should be 40. Okay, on average people are getting 55%. If you go above the chart, okay, or if you go below the chart, I need to do root cause analysis, that is fishbone diagram. I need to identify why this happened, why, identifying the real reason why that went out of the way. Okay, so using control chart, I control the processes. The fundamental concept of quality is based on Deming cycle. You plan the quality, you do something, you check it, and you act it. Plan, you make a plan, do quality assurance, do quality control, change it, and continuously do that. That is Deming cycle for you. Okay, continuous improvement, also known as Kaizen, or which my shirt says. This is this, not this one, but this is my program. I had one is, I guess that's all. Yeah, that's home. 1 is greater than 0. Yes, thank you. 1 is greater than 0. Continuous improvement, continuous improvement, continuous improvement. That's a quality topic for you. If you have any question, please ask. Put in the chat box. I will be more than happy to answer. Okay, now we are going to solve 15 questions of quality. Okay, guys, I still see only 15 people have liked. Okay, so I'm going to request everyone who is watching this video, please do like the video. When you like the video, it start coming into the algorithm of YouTube and more people can learn. I'm doing this free session for you, especially for those people who cannot join my premium program, right? I do this free session so that you can also learn and my goal become there. Ishikawa is a fishbone diagram. You do the root cause analysis, like, okay, this problem happened, why it was not clear to you, what it is there, so why we are doing it to it. Take a paper, put on the bone's face as a problem, and then cause effect. I hope Asim it is clear. So in Six Sigma actually operate in DMI ASI, define, measure, analyze, improve, control. Okay, define, measure, analyze, improve, control. That is DMAI cycle. Is it clear to everybody? Yeah, Ishikawa, I just explained it already. Yeah, of course, the tough questions will be there. Gee, what else? Okay, let's go with the question answers and let's solve some questions. You will have 70 seconds, of course, to solve the question. And question number 1 on your screen. Just to make sure the question is visible. Yeah. Please solve this question. During a review, routine performance review, project manager identified the 4 deliverables were submitted without adhering to prescribed review window. Like they did not went through a review. They did not do the verification. The deviations were not escalated. The schedule remains intact. What is the most appropriate action? Revise the framework. Okay. Initiate a formal compliance assessment. Escalate it. So in the PMP, whenever the escalation is, this is the last strategy. Okay. This is also later on. We are left with 2 options, A or C. Okay. So here I'll use ASM. That is the purpose of fishbone diagram, to identify the root cause, why it was not carried out before, why you could not identify this problem before. This problem should have been identified before, looked into that way. Okay. So this is what we will do. Clear to everyone? Is this answer clear to everybody? Put yes or no in the chat box, then I will move to next question. Okay, let's do the next question. Question number 2. A project deliverable satisfy the 94% of the documented functional requirement. Good. However, the client declines the acceptance. He says no, stating the solution does not meet expectation. Okay. The project manager determines that the all approved requirements were largely addressed. You did that. In retrospective, what should the project manager have ensured? Comprehensive review, he already did that. Strengthening oversight of testing strategy. Okay. Decompose, no. I need to make sure what is the criteria of that. What is their compliance? What is their requirement? Is that 94% or 98% or 99% or 99.9? This is a very important question for your PMP exam. Identify the requirement. So today, before moving towards the next question, I have someone, I would say a very dear friend of mine. She joined the program. She have all the confusions I cannot do, etc., etc. And she cleared PMP today from India. I invited her in this live session so that you can ask her in-depth question, how she actually cleared PMP, how she did it. And it has been like before the, even before, after her clearing the class, I still yelled at you, what did you do? She said, yes, sir, this. I said, you should have done this. This is how we believe. Okay. And this is how we looked into that. So Meenakshi, first of all, congratulations on clearing
Thank you,
PMP.
sir.
And I'm really
Thank
proud of
you.
you. Your coach Chandrakant is also there. He just, as he's a coach, you are his first certified. He has like 20 people is
Yeah.
working in this month. You are his first. So before I go towards the Chandrakant, you want to say hi to her or put something in the context?
Hi, madam. How are you?
Hey, Chandra, how are you?
Good, 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 good. So, welcome to the PMP world and congratulations on your credentials.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Chandrakant.
you.
I'll take question from Chandrakant in some time. Okay, Meenakshi, first of all, clearing the PMP is the biggest achievement. That was the goal here. How was your journey, and can you share it in your words?
Yes, sir. Journey has been amazing. I still remember. I found you through Instagram. I pinged you. You pinged me back in WhatsApp. And after speaking to you only for like 5 minutes, I decided, yes, I'm joining this program. That's how influential you were that time.
Thank you.
And definitely, I had my ups and downs. My dad passed away in November, and even in that time, everybody, like you, Sudha ma'am, everybody supported me a lot, and they pulled me back to track. And I know I had been, on and off in December, but in January I started full fledged. I started practicing and doing the mocks and all, and I love the concept. Everything is streamlined. You have a plan for everybody, and it is created according to their performance. So I followed that, and here I am.
As a proud certified PMP, as a proud.
Yes.
So Meenakshi, last night we had a call. What did I tell you?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, what we are
You
going to do?
Yeah, you told me about the time management. I know I messed up a little on that
We'll come
part.
to that. But what else I told you? Tomorrow, what we will do?
Yes, you told me that tomorrow we will record your success story.
Yes, tomorrow we will record your success story, and this is here we are recording your success journey. How was the exam for you?
Um, I would say it was a little bit of on a difficult side for me because I was expecting it to be a different in a different format. The kind of questions I was expecting were not there. But then again, if your base is strong, you can definitely clear it.
Hmm. Okay, awesome. That is really awesome. Now comes the biggest challenge we had in the exam. Please.
The first part, I would say, the first 20 questions, I got so entangled that I really lost track of my timing. And around 40 45 minutes, I realized I just completed 20 questions. And I was all over the place and I didn't know what to do and how to go further. and then I did that breathing thing that you told me, take deep breaths, and I just thought of completing the first 60 questions first. So I knew that I would get a 10 minutes break, so I somehow completed them in 30 minutes, and it took the first part took a lot of time for me, but the second part, it had a lot of agile in it, and I had a good grip on agile, so I was able to complete it quite early. So for the third part, I got some time, but there were no formula questions, there were no drag and drop questions, and the questions were very very lengthy. So that trick really worked, reading the last line and then reading the question. But yes, and slow down, because if you read fast, then you won't understand, because those were like really big questions.
Hmm.
And language was also on a little bit, the words. You would actually need to use dictionary to understand meaning of certain words.
Yeah. So the exam was hard and the time management
Yes,
was
I-
messed up, but still you cleared
yes.
it.
Yeah.
Still you cleared it. Okay.
I was in doubt while even giving the exam whether I'll clear it or not, whether I'll clear it or not, but I cleared it.
But you cleared it. Okay. If you compare this exam with Elite 200 and as well as you did Elite 200, right?
I did.
Elite 200 and random 60 marks. How would you compare the difficulty?
Random 60 marks are definitely more difficult. This was not that difficult. So certain questions and random marks are like too difficult. Certain sets, but elite two, yes, it really helped me. But none of the questions were from the elite. But if you know the concept, if you have a good base, then definitely you can try and do those questions.
Hmm. That you can do that questions. Okay, perfectly fine. A very interesting question in this you did not have a single drag and drop, right?
No.
You never had a single drag and drop. That's beautiful, right? You never had
And
a
I practiced a lot. Like, so that ma'am gave me around 130 questions, and she said, oh, these questions do come, and I practiced a lot, but not even a single round.
Hmm. Hmm. That's an interesting question here. That you need to be prepared what the exam can be. I had like one student had 10 drag and drop, same like they are sitting in the same place. Okay. One had 10 drag and drop, the other had zero drag and drop. This is so interesting. One had 10 drag and drop and other had zero drag and drop. Both at the same place as well as working in there. Okay, that's very interesting. How many formula questions?
None, not even a single. Rather,
Not
I didn't see any questions on cost. There were no questions at all.
hmm. Okay. Which topic was most highlighted in the exam?
Predictive. I would say
Predictive.
agile portion was there, but there were more predictive questions, and they were very confusing questions. Like in the question, agile, or there will be no keyword for agile. You will not guess it will be an agile question, but if you see the answers, there were all agile answers.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
the options were all agile, so I was very confused whether this project is agile or not. So I presumed, because the answers were, and there were certain questions wherein two answers are for agile and two are for predictive, but the question doesn't say.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, and you need to work into that way, right?
Yeah, so I literally guessed the answers in those questions, because I was not sure whether the answer would be an agile answer or a predictive answer.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, okay, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Now there has been a very interesting thing here. Okay, so how lengthy? Okay, Tamina has an exam tomorrow. Tamina, you can ask the question. She cleared PMP. That's the important thing. Congratulations, Okay, so Ravi Kumar is asking, what is your mindset just before attending the exam, madam?
My mindset was not very good. I would say I was very very anxious. But I spoke to Amit sir in the morning, and he told me that you only need to keep your stakeholder. I'm sorry, this agile mindset. You just need to think about having an agile mindset, and you have the exam in your hands. So was watching the Mastery series in the morning. All I did was I saw all the videos in 1.5x speed, and I had been doing this from last 2 3 days. Definitely, there will be anxiety. You can't do anything about it. You will have butterflies in your stomach, but eat chocolate, as Azmir sir says, and then conquer it.
Correct. Eat chocolate, that is important. Not eat a lot of chocolate, but a bite of
Little bit,
chocolate. Have a
bite of
water
chocolate.
bottle and take a deep breathing. And what I said, I will record your journey. Did that help? Did that line help?
Yes.
Okay. So Tamina is asking lengthy question. How lengthy were they? Like most of the question. Let's say if you put average on the questions.
I would say, Temina, if you have done these big mock questions, there's one of the mock we have
Random
that
random 60s.
random, yeah. I mean, like 4 or 5 lines. And half of the screen was filled with a question, and you would be confused because there will be 2 to 3 problem statements in that question. So what to address exactly, that will be a confusion for you.
Hmm. So this
So
the most important thing is follow the plan and you will clear the exam for Tamina.
yes.
Okay. What about hybrid? So the questions were hybrid.
No, not much. Very few.
Very few. What about were the choices confusing?
They were. I
They
would
were.
say that there were questions. I mean, there were topics that I haven't even heard about. They were. I cannot even recall those things because I.
Eliminate those options. Rule number one: if you have not studied something and it's in the question, then it's not like this is a made up term. That is a rule for everybody. If you are my student and you see something that is you have not heard of, eliminate it. After solving that many questions, if something comes that is a made up term, that is not the right answer. So that's an important thing. So what percentage of the hybrid, she said, very day after tomorrow's exam, Tamina is saying. Okay. So huge congrats on PMP. Quick question. How did you find the balance between predictive and agile hybrid question on exam? And any specific mindset tips and tricks for the exam?
I'm sure your coaches will give you the tips and tricks. Definitely, that helped. I got that from Chandra, and also Sudha ma'am shared a few documents with me earlier. That definitely helped. Balance is, yeah, they were mixed questions from predictive and agile. Most of the questions were from stakeholder and communication, and there were a lot of questions on stakeholder engagement and communication management. I mean, where you can get confused easily whether you would refer the communication management plan or stakeholder engagement plan. But if you are watching sir's videos, then don't worry about it. You will get it easily.
Yeah.
Those topics were like ruling,
Okay.
stakeholder, and
Yeah. So I do recommend here, Amir, the masterclass that we did few weeks back on stakeholder. Watch that. Then PMP mindset. And if you are your student, if you are my student, reach to your coach. Whatever you need, he will give it to you. Right? Reach to your coach. That's the most important thing. Every single student have a dedicated coach, and the purpose of the coach is to look at the student what they like. Her case scenario was very different. There in last 5 years, I guess I had one or two students who lost their parents in between. Right? I had someone like if your spouse lost a parent, your auntie, uncle, but her mind, the biggest challenge with Meenakshi we have to be very calm. For our daughter, father is the most important thing. Losing father was very challenging for her, very emotional. So we have to be very different for her. So that was the very biggest challenge here. Okay. So situational question, which two answers look right? Did you had question with multiple answers you need to select?
yes, many questions with that. But those were easy questions, so I was easily able to do them because
Oh,
most of them were from Agile
okay. So you gave exam in center, right?
in the center. Yes.
Okay. How far? Where are you in India? And how far the center was?
I'm in Delhi. Center was in Gurgaon, so I drove 30 kilometers.
30 kilometers. Yeah. For you, Anti, since you are in US, Canada, you can even give online exam. In India, Pakistan, even in Gulf countries, I always recommend going into the centers. Okay. 180 and 200. Okay. Last line formula question. Yeah, of course. Is there any negative marking in the PMP exam? No. Questions, formula question. She did not have formula question. How did you identify keywords in the lengthy question? That's a good question, actually. Thank you for asking. Did you follow any strategy?
Yeah, I was working with my coach Chandra, and he taught me a little trick that you need to, focus on the first part of the question. When the question starts, then the problem statement that is stated there is mostly the problem statement in the question. So look for the answers related to that, and that really helped me, because there were a lot of questions today that were very very lengthy, and there were like 4 or 5 problem statements or 2 3 problem statements in a single question, and but I followed the first part of the question, so I'm assuming they were right. I'm not sure.
Okay, okay. You cleared the exam, so I hope they were right. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, how did you? Amir Saab hai to sab mumkin hai. Thank you, Amir. Of course, last video. Yeah, it's a good, important video. Okay, now coming to a few things. Meenakshi, how has been follow up with you throughout the entire journey?
Amazing. I would say amazing. And the way Chandra worked with me is exceptional, because I am somebody who's very very anxious, and I'm a very negative person. I had been a very negative person, and he even scolded me at times, but he never left me, and he maintained his calm composure. And I mean, I'm so used to of his follow-ups every morning, good morning ma'am updates, and every night, hello ma'am updates, that today I was thinking, what will I do? He's not pinging me now. What do I do now? I'm literally feeling hopeless. So amazing follow-up, amazing plans. He worked with me so closely. He checked each and every question with me. I sent him questions, and he made sure that he give me answers for all of the questions that I'm asking. And it was amazing. I'm saying.
Yeah, this is a very interesting thing that we need to make sure every single student work into that, and every single student get that follow up. Okay, then the most important thing of my program, customized roadmap. Was a customized
Yes.
roadmap given to you?
It was. I asked for a lot of different things. Like once I did my overall mocks, I kept asking him, I want more, I want more. But he said, no, you're done, you're prepared. I'm not giving you more. You don't need to study this. But he gave me other things, like you watch this specific video, or you complete this topic and we'll discuss, or you go through the PMP booklet. But it was customized. When once he was satisfied and Sudha ma'am was satisfied, okay, I'm prepared, then they didn't give me unnecessary mocks and all. It was very much customized, and according to my scores they used to decide which mock they would give me. They were not giving me all the marks. They used to
Yeah.
tell me, okay, do this, do that, do that.
Okay,
So
perfectly fine. Were you attending the coaching calls, question answer sessions?
uh, not much, but I did attend a few in between. Not all of them, but I did attend it a few.
Hmm. Did you read book for PMP or no book?
Booklet? No,
A
I did.
booklet,
I read your
no book
booklet only.
only.
No book.
Know this. Now you can read it. Now you, as a member, you can download it for free. Now you can read it. Okay.
Sure.
A very important question. How important root cause analysis was for you?
It did help. It did help a lot, because initially, sometimes what happens, like if you do something wrong and you just write it down and you ensure, okay, this is something I've done wrong, so that will get stuck in your mind. Next time when you see that question, you'll instantly know, oh, this is the answer, this is where I went wrong, and you'll instantly mark that answer. So that is very helpful that you do. I know it takes a little time, and people sometimes procrastinate about doing the RCS, but it is very, very important. If you do it, it will always remain in your mind, all the wrong answers. At least if you cannot do it for all 180 questions, just do it for the incorrect questions. At least that is the minimum. So it's very, very important.
It's very, very important. Okay, I guess students have a few more questions. Okay. With such personal issue, have you come up the thoughts of not giving exam? That's a good question. And actually, only you
Yes.
can answer it.
Yes, I did And I actually sent this message to Sudha ma'am. She's not here right now. If she would have been, she would have told you. I sent this message to Sudha ma'am. I'm not continuing with this. I will not be able to do it. But Sudha ma'am said, no, you cannot give up. I will personally take care of you, and don't do this. And you've started this. Just complete it, finish it, and you will get over it. And she made me understand. She actually guided me, mentored me, and then she assigned Chandra as my coach. Then things changed. I did think about it, and even after Chandra was my coach, obviously these grieving thoughts, with this grieving time, you these thoughts, negative thoughts, do come in your mind, and you get negative at times, but you just need to, you know, follow through and just don't give up.
Don't give up, keep moving forward, because this is a very interesting thing. Everyone will have challenges, everyone will face challenges. The most important thing is, like what we say, life happens, it
Yeah.
happens. If it happens, it happens. There is nothing that you can do, right? Life happens, and you need to look into that, what we can work and how we can navigate from that. Okay, what would be your most important advice for these people?
You just follow the plan and trust in the process. And trust
Just
me,
for
Amir sir is somebody what I have been observing. He is celebrating every single win. I have seen everybody recording their success journey. He will make you, contact the person, and you can ask questions. But he is celebrating every of one of his student. You can see his YouTube channel. You'll find everybody. So just trust the process.
Yeah, that is the most important thing, because I love every of my students. Okay,
Yeah.
me too. Negative thoughts. Maybe Tamina, you need to talk to her. Okay, so congratulations. You will do next time. Okay, I read your booklet only. That's good. That's very good. Just 1 second. I'll come. I'm just in a meeting.
No, no, I'm just wanted to let you know the square footage. So they're both 152.
Okay.
Do you know which one you want to get quoted on?
I will check with my wife and come back to you. Okay, 152. Thank you. Sorry for that. I'm trying to shift my room to a big room. It's a small room, so they were coming. I read your booklet. Yeah, that's a very important thing. To everyone testing tomorrow, you have done the work. Now to stay calm. Nothing is impossible. Thank you very much, Meenakshi. It has been a beautiful journey, and I really loved the way we worked into it. And seriously proud of you, my friend. Seriously.
Thank you so
And
much, sir.
now comes the most important thing, and that is from last, as long as I remember, I heard it saying Denzel Washington, each one teach one, right? These are American actors, each one teach one, and that mantra I have put. Maybe Tamina will reach you out, maybe other students will reach you out, so help them. And most importantly, make 10 questions I will be using in the next PMP marathon. Let me put your coach here. Chandrakant, you are on the screen. If you want to say final words to your beautiful Chandrakant, if you want to add something.
No, sir. She's a nice student. Honestly saying, she had her difficulties, but definitely I just wanted to give her a small push. That's it. And I never scolded her. I just uplifted with a bit more strong words. That's it.
No, no, actually nudged me. I would say it was a nudge, not the scolding.
That's okay. I have
Yeah.
said them, use whatever it is needed to make sure to become PMP. Thank you very much. I wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Meenakshi. It was a beautiful journey.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye bye, Chandrakant. Okay, guys. I hope this motivated you. Now back to the business. Question number 3. During a portfolio session, a steering committee member, how the project team will conform to the defined standards before presenting. The executive was going to document where this can be found. So where you can look into that the agreed standards. We discussed at the start of that, the purpose is quality management. Okay, C. Okay, this is a good question. See, what will be your answer? C. Let's see what answer you put. D. I see some B and C also. Okay. So C is not, we do not need to escalate that, we never escalated. He has a responsibility, it will not help us. We already said that we can get the schedule back. We need to assessment to correct the structure installation. That is the only question that actually solve your problem. D is the right answer. Which activity was the team performing during the review and what should they implement going forward? Okay. G, what will be your answer here? It's a good question. A very good question. I'll also put them on LinkedIn. Okay, so it's not group consensus. There is no voting there. Troubleshooting is not there because before printing, we did not find the review. We find the things before. It's not troubleshooting. Initial research is not there. We are doing the review and verification before we send it. So that's a continuous improvement process. So before I give it to the client, I look at the systems. Do I have those things? Okay, and look into that. You have not heard of consensus. Consensus is a voting technique where we vote to see how the things are moving and looked into that. Okay, so that is kind of a consensus or a voting technique. I hope that makes sense to you. Next question, question number 6. G, what's your answer here? B, C, sir, guide about PMI ACP roadmap. Yeah, sure, you can join about, you see my number, you can join my program, Atik, for ACP, for sure. During the production of fleet of 500 drones navigation module, to evaluate a subset to verify compliance with documented performance, the team randomly select to determine whether the manufacturing process producing output, what activity is performing. Okay, so those people who are putting B, I see some putting a B. Is it a formal review of the organizational standard? Those putting D, routine, is it a routine maintenance? How it is? Justify your answer, guys. Justify your answer, how it is. Like when you pick the answer, there has to be a justification behind that. What we are doing here? We are doing sampling here, random sampling here. Okay. We are selecting product evaluation to for overall conformity. What does that mean? That is sampling. We check some of the part, and they will reflect the entire thing. That is a classical sampling example. That you do something and that needs to look into the entire part. That is the definition of sampling here. Right? That is what the sampling is all about. You are doing sampling here. C is the right answer. Okay? Question number 7. Okay. A mid-sized engineering project is experiencing delay because several junior team members lack sufficient proficiency. Senior engineers report that less experienced are often performing redundant, resulting in schedule. The project manager seeks to overall enhance performance while ensuring knowledge transfer. Which two approaches should be useful? Collaborate with the team. That's a very good option. Conduct a formal discussion whether escalation. This is escalation is not needed. Launch a comprehensive training initiative. Okay. Creating a standard checklist. Very good. But that already covered in that. The problem is without team input, that eliminated. Establishes sessions. Okay. So here A and E look like the right answer. So this is what basically interesting thing when the question says select two answers, you need to select two answers. Unless you don't select two answers, the question will not move ahead into that. So you needed to select two answers right here, not one. I see some people have selected one answer here. Next question. Inconsistent table weights. The project manager is tasked with determining whether adjustments are required and compliance with the regulatory standards. Which tools or technique would be most appropriate for the project manager? G, what would be your answer for this question? All tools are important. All tools are important. Which one is the best here? Scatter diagram identify the relation between that. Frequency distribution has nothing to do with diagramming. That is not a time series chart. That is trend chart that is moving along the way is needed here. A is the right answer. I want to identify common themes, patterns, and areas. Which tool I should use? It's a good question. While you are answering this question, why don't you put in the justification of each tool? So cause and effect, identify the root cause. Histogram does the frequency distribution. Control chart, control the process. Affinity diagram, it is basically a categorization tool. Small, medium, large, we discussed it in the agile topic. It categorizes the things. Okay, it categorizes the things into small, medium, large, and we work into that way. So that categorization tool can be useful here for you, so that you can use what categorize it actually falls into it. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. This is a very good question actually. I loved it. G, what will be your answer here? Which tool or technique should you use to prioritize this defect? Even if I don't do that, even if I don't look into that, I can straightforward put this answer. It's not a prioritization tool, not a prioritization tool, not a prioritization tool. There's only one option that's a prioritization tool, that is Pareto chart. That's why when the question is more than 3-liner, read the last line first. Okay, so what's your answer here? No, I cannot zoom in. You are joining from mobile, join from laptop maybe. Then you will be able to. This is the maximum I can show. Okay. A project manager has just completed the construction of new community library and is preparing to close the project. Several structures were planned according to the W. Before transitioning control of the facility, the project sponsor requests a review to confirm all work has been completed. What should the project manager do? So conduct an inspection, all deliverables are completed, verify the overall objective. Objective has nothing to, we're talking about the work, not the objective. Lesson learned, no. This is a later thing. We are only left with the B option. Guys, look at what the question is asking. We want to make sure the work has been completed. There is no, here the objective is talking, here the lesson learned, here the documentation. Only one option is B. I see many people have not selected B as an answer, A, C, D. But look what the question is actually asking. If you look at that, you will be able to answer it. Yeah, please like the video so that it can start coming in the algorithm of video, YouTube. If you have still not liked it, please do that right now. Okay, so what will be the answer for this question, guys? During the final stage of a company-wide cybersecurity, the project manager notices that critical verification tasks are piled up, causing a slowdown in the overall development. The project employs a hybrid approach Okay, the project manager must ensure all tasks are completed while maintaining integrity. Conduct an intensive workshop. It will not solve the problem. Bring in cyber. Okay. C, call in for a root cause. That looks like a right answer. C is the right answer here. I need to identify the root cause of the problem for solving it. G, what will be your answer for this? Straightforward C answer. I'm going to look into the quality benchmark. Right, guys? C is the right answer. Let's go to the next question. G, what will the answer for this question? During the final inspection of our commercial airline fleet modernization, the project manager discovered multiple maintenance deviations. Preliminary checks suggest that the continuing operation, okay, it's a safety risk. It's a very important thing that we have a safety risk, okay. The deviations and cannot be corrected without halting flights. Ground the entire flight, okay. Update the maintenance schedule, notify. So this is the most harsh option we'll use. Why? It's a safety. Health and safety is the number one priority. Nothing else will work into it. A is the right answer. Okay, so we have non-conformance. What we are going to do about that? Can we escalate the funding to sponsor? No, we need to integrate the auditor recommendation into this way. And in this way, we can work into that. So guys, this was all for the quality topic today. For those people who have still not joined our program, I'm doing a special batch so that you can clear it in the month of Ramadan. And I'm going to make a plan that you become PMP in the minimum possible time. So for those people who still are looking for it, I'm going to invite you to join my program that is going to start in just 2 weeks. And I'll make sure you become PMP before my birthday. That is 31st of March. That's my job, to making sure that you become PMP in the minimum possible time. So if you are ready, let's go for it. You can see my number and you can ask my students for the feedback. Bye-bye.
I would have not been able to clear the exam if Amir Ali would have not been there. I would have not been.
I did not believe that I will be able to clear my PMP within a month.
I don't know what to say actually. Like I'm kind of like really
I got my results and I was above target in all 3 categories.
Wow.
So